Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's have a look at Atom. So good for those Atom holders, I can tell you that much for free. I mean, look at the state of this chart. So we're coming up to test the most recent, well, it's the all-time high, isn't it, for its most recent pump. And this was a significant rally all the way up to this level here, which is a nice round level of about $45 basically. And we retested that over here. And the sellers came in, they couldn't take the pressure, and I can understand that as well, because the sentiment generally for crypto at the moment is down. But there is a lot of altcoins that have got good setups, you know, and it's not as bad as people think. And you know, my expectation is that Bitcoin actually has reached its bottom and is probably going to sort of grind out these lows and spend a fair bit of time, weeks, maybe even a few months within this accumulation zone. You know, we could easily break up to the top level over here, about 52,000, but generally speaking, we're at the bottom area of a range, and a range that's looking for up to test up around 46. To maybe as much as 49 to 52. So there's more upside, I believe, in the short term for Bitcoin, and that's just going to add a little bit more stability in the altcoin market. And we can see that across the board. I mean, we've got some altcoins that are just pumping regardless. And I've been saying for a while now that the secret hangs around in the sats. And we look at the Bitcoin pairs, we can see some clues basically with their chart structure compared to the Tether chart structures, which make a lot more sense. So this is the Atom to BTC pair. So pretty much representing exactly the same in the short term as what we see over here versus its tether pairing, coming up to a flat level of horizontal resistance, you know, all-time high territory for it over here. Retested it recently, and we can see that that's basically mimicked on this chart. Really, we did actually break a wick even higher versus its sats. Altcoins, some altcoins that would be are definitely stronger than Bitcoin and have been since as early as December. Despite what people might think, you know, around the mid-December area, a lot of these altcoins have bottomed versus their sats and have gone on rallies. Obviously, we can see that with this one. We see that across the board for quite a lot of other coins. It might take you by surprise, I suppose, when you see the market just generally going down, but they are doing well versus Bitcoin. And so if Bitcoin's going to go into a period of stability, maybe even an uptrend, it could carry some of these even further. So if we zoom out a little further, in fact what we'll do is we'll go to the weekly on Atom. We can have a look at something even more intriguing. We are basically bracing to close a weekly candle body high versus its sats, the highest high it's ever formed with a candle body. Obviously we've still got about 10 hours to go or so before we can close this candle, and if it does close, that's a new all-time high versus Bitcoin. That's a pretty awesome signal. We've got a messy, well, you could call this a W pattern that failed, you could call this a W pattern that failed. The pattern trading, I suppose, isn't always the best way to look at this, but what we can look at is how high are we looking to go and how much power has this got left in it. Well, we can see that each peak runs a money flow index read of about 86. This peak over here was about 84. This currently is about 75, so it does lend itself to further upside for Atom, despite, you know, coming up to significant highs, like very tangible resistance levels, as we've already seen. You know, we've got an all-time high approaching versus Tether, all-time high versus Bitcoin. So if there is ever going to be a resistance, this is going to be the one, and we're more or less dancing around that level as we speak. But the way that the charts are both braced, and their relationship to moving averages, their extension of a rally forming on the MACD, the money flow index, and I suppose to an extent the RSI, not really looking tired or having any warning signals on it, I would expect this to actually break. And at this point then it would be a blue sky breakout, and we'd have to think about it in incremental steps up. I think the obvious place for this to find another resistance is going to be $50. And the reason I say that, and we see it all the time when we do these live streams, is that basically people are very simple. I'm a person as well, so you know, I'm not saying everyone other than me is simple. We're all simple beings. And we love round numbers, and $50 is a nice round number. So I bet you there'll be a hell of a lot of sell orders around 50. So the best thing to do in the short term would be to front run that ever so slightly to about 49. You know, if you were looking to do some margin trading on this one, that is, or if you've got some decent positions from low levels. Now I'm not saying that it can't break out of there. It definitely could. It could go for a blue sky breakout. It can continue on. Like I say, we've already established that the chart isn't particularly overextended, and that it's essentially just a continuation of of an already powerful rally, so it can continue on much further. Obviously, it could, but if you wanted to be conservative about where you're looking to trade, you don't want to get caught in one of these big pullbacks that seems to happen frequently after these large rallies. The best thing would be to try and limit your exposure as we head closer and closer to what I would think could probably be an obvious level for a resistance to be once this one's broken. So obviously from here to there is, it's not that much when you think about it in terms of crypto. 14%, 16%, 17%. It's not much from the candle body where we're at right now, and I wouldn't obviously recommend going into a trade as we're approaching such a significant level of resistance anyway. I'm not here to recommend trades. I'm here to, I suppose, look at the state of a chart and give you my 2 pennies on it, really. But yeah, I mean, it's been strong and it continues to be strong. There's no signs of weakness. The only thing we've got is a resistance both on Tether and on Bitcoin. But other than that, strong looking chart. I expect it to continue, to be honest with you. I think it will continue. I think we'll find a resistance here, and if we can then build a base upon the previous resistance, then we'll go on to another level of pump. So this could go into a change of behaviour now, a real change of behaviour, and not just an extension of this rally, but basically a checkpoint, and this would be a checkpoint. If we can claim this, and it wouldn't just be a pump and then a retest of it. I'd like to see moving averages crossing above it to add more support to it. So once these, the 10 exponential, the 20 and the 21, they're all above it as well, and we will be at that stage looking to continue this rally. So just as a bit of a guide, I think we're likely to break this unless Bitcoin decides to pull back dramatically. It is Sunday, anything's possible, and we will come up to these resistances and have a rejection, and then find our way sort of building a base, consolidating around that level, and then moving on thereafter. Again, this is a daily. I'm not expecting that to take so long, but we'll have to wait and see. That's what I'd be looking to see. That's what I'd be expecting to see, a base being built around this previous support once we've broken it, and then continue on from there. Right. I'll leave it with you there. There's not a great deal further to add. It looks great. I've got no issues with it. Just beware that this is mega resistance, not just with its Tether pairing, but obviously with its Satoshi pairing. We've got a very, very strong level of resistance. It basically is because it goes back such a long period of time. This is super resistance. You can see that. This goes back for ages, back into May 2019. So there we go. That's it. That's all you need to know. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.